Hey guys, my name is Courtney. I am the founder of the Advocate Ally app. You can also refer to me as your advocate in chief. I advocate for parents who are advocating for their kids in the school system in order to make sure that they have the tools that they need to be successful so that they have the best shot at getting a quality education and being as successful as possible to achieve their goals. You will often hear me refer to myself as a neurospicy mom with a neurospicy family. That is because I am also neurodivergent. I was diagnosed with ADHD at the tender age of 43 years old, and we'll talk more about that later. But first, I would like to tell you about my journey with my children and my role as a mother. As a mom, I've always been hyper-focused on my children's development. If something didn't sit right, I asked questions. I refused to be that parent that ignored red flags based off of my fear or pride. My biggest challenge was advocating for my son. It took years, 2 evaluations, countless meetings, and one very rough kindergarten school year before we got a formal diagnosis of autism. I never forgot how misunderstood he was during that school year. What others saw as behavioral issues was actually just stimming and sensory overload. By the beginning of first grade, we had a formal diagnosis, but it took almost until the end of that school year to get him a 504, even after having the meeting the first week of school. By the start of the first grade, we had a formal diagnosis and requested accommodations. So we started with the IEP evaluation first, and I knew he was too high functioning to qualify for IEP services, and I was fine with that. But it took until April of that school year to get him an official 504 with accommodations. And when it was done, I found out the hard way that not all 504s or IEPs are created equally. His plan looked great on paper for the untrained eye, but it didn't actually protect him in the classroom. It was vague and full of suggestions instead of supports. That's when the idea of the Advocate Ally was born. I wanted to create something that parents like me would be able to use to understand exactly what was in the IEPs and 504s, but also what was missing, what was unclear, and what needed to be changed. When I ran my son's plan through the first version of the analyzer, I realized how broken the system could be. I knew I had to do something. I don't want any other parent to walk in the dark with an untrained eye, blindly thinking that their child is truly being supported when they're not. Now the Advocate Ally exists to educate and empower parents so you can walk into those meetings and not feel small, overwhelmed, or unheard. My mission is simple: help you feel unapologetically equipped for your child's rights to learn, grow, and thrive. Now back to my ADHD journey. I find that as I am getting older and hormones are changing, that ADHD is truly having an impact on my activities of daily living. So much so at times to the point that I cannot decide what I should start on first, what's going to have the best benefit, because I'm too afraid that I'm going to fail or miss some type of opportunity. It's called analysis paralysis. Surely I can't be the only one that is experiencing this. So I have created tools for people who have ADHD that tend to get analysis paralysis. They're looking at a long list of things that they need to get done, but they just don't know exactly where to start. So I created tools to help individuals to just dump all of that information out, just talk it out, and allow a system to just organize those thoughts, prioritize everything, and give you instruction on how to move forward. That way you get unstuck and you can move forward and accomplish tasks. And as you're accomplishing those tasks, you can visibly see that you are actually getting traction, which is a reward in itself. You don't have to do this alone. You just need the right tools, the right community, and someone who gets it. Welcome to the movement. Let's be unapologetically equipped together. Whether you're advocating for yourself in order to become more functional, or if you're changing the system one brave parent at a time. Welcome.